welcome to today's Just Chopsing Podcast. And with David and myself, we have Mikei Gray. And Mikei Gray is also known as the Frst.
Hello. How are you, boys?
I'm good. I can see you looking at us in 3D.
That's right. You look lovely in high definition, both of you. How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, we're good, man.
Cool.
Good.
Where exactly are you? Are you in
I'm in Nashville. Yeah. What about you guys?
Well, I'm in the Netherlands.
Oh, wonderful.
And I'm in Wales.
Oh, excellent. Joining from all over today.
Yeah, we're all over the world today.
Excellent.
This is quite a good move. Quite novel.
We're gonna try and get over there in 2024.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Where?
we'll let you know. Yeah, we don't have the whole tour planned yet, but it looks like we're gonna fly into Nottingham.
Yeah.
And then work our way on down, go through Guernsey and touch land and see how far we can make it in mainland before we run out of money.
All right.
Are you thinking of going over to Europe as well? Or just
Yeah,
UK?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yep,
cool.
trying to make it over to Europe. Yeah.
Well, don't go to Amsterdam first, because then you'll definitely run out of money.
We may end up just living there. We may never come back. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, well, I won't tell you where I live. You're only sleeping on my floor for 3 years.
Yes.
You got enough money to go back.
Yeah, exactly. Have to gig the whole way back. We've been there before.
So you've got a new single out called Scary Movie?
Yes. It was a ton of fun to make, and the video was even more fun. That comes out this Friday.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good. What was your inspiration for that song then? Because I saw a little bit of a story saying it was a true story for you or something.
There was. When I lived in Miami many years ago, I was going, the whole house was glass. Why? Don't fucking ask me. But, it's Miami and everything's, got to be, anyway, so I'm going to the bathroom. I make it into the bathroom and out the window, I see two guys with guns breaking into the door right next to the room I'm in. It's the bathroom and then a room, and they're breaking into the room. And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck do you do? So I thought, hey, maybe if I make some noise, turn on some lights.
Good effort.
Then I'll let them know, like, hey, people are. I thought maybe they were just trying to break in the other side of the house, thinking nobody was over there. They were gonna, steal some stuff or something like that. So I make a ruckus. I start running the other direction, like any sane person would. If it's a scary movie, though, then you got to go in the direction.
Yeah.
Of the villains,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to fall over. Yeah. No. So I went the other direction, which is why I'm here talking to you, and found my roommates. We huddled in the kitchen because the whole house was glass. So the kitchen, there were at least the counters you could kind of hide behind. And for the first time in my life, we called the police, and they say, okay, stay calm, we'll be right there. I think, okay, and we wait. Nobody shows up. So we think, oh shit, okay, So we call them again. Hey,
Right, okay.
don't know if you remember us. There's two fucking guys with guns breaking into the house. Could use some help. Thanks. Okay. All right. Okay. Stay calm. We'll be right there. Nobody shows up again. So there was three of us. So we all got knives and just started exploring. And thankfully, nobody was there. They had broken in the back where I had seen. But I think with the ruckus and.
Well, you're lucky they didn't shoot anyone.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we had knives, they had guns. I mean, we stood no chance.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're in a glass house, one shot on the whole house would have come down.
Exactly. The best we could have done is maybe offer them a meal, a hot sandwich, maybe a place to crash.
Oh, you could have tricked them and told them they want Big Brother.
Yeah.
Give them a drink or something. Get them drunk. Yeah, very lucky.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
No.
We don't tend to have stuff like that. So, because where I live in Wales, it's really, really quiet. Really
Is it?
quiet. Yeah, I mean, we got a police station. I think we probably got about 2 policemen in it. There's very few police. Like, you never see them out on the roads or anything. It's super quiet.
Now, do they carry guns? Because I've heard, like in most of the UK, the police don't carry guns.
No, they don't know. They
Okay.
got truncheons and mace. That's it. Like.
Okay. Well, and then there's
true.
a lot less people being accidentally killed incidentally too.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
Well, they
there
carry
is that.
guns here.
yeah,
They carry guns here in the Netherlands.
yeah,
But you don't
and
really-
I think that's a good thing. That's a big hot button issue in America right now. And
Right
personally,
now.
I think the less guns, the better. Personally,
Yeah, I mean, well, I wouldn't say right now. I mean, gun problems have been a problem for a long time, haven't it?
it is.
And it seems, well, it's only going to get worse and worse, I guess.
It is, and I guess what I mean by right now is it's really starting to come into the public. Well, I guess it's been in the public forum for a long time, but as different demographics move up and things like that, it becomes more of a issue that seems to be actually coming to the forefront of the debate a little more.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's very public outside of the US.
Yeah, is it? Yeah,
it is.
I can imagine
because every single tragedy really is reported on because it's quite a big story. I mean, I think everyone else in the world thinks you're all mad. To be honest,
they are.
We're having so many guns,
They are. What's even crazy? It's really divided in half. You have half the countries walking around with guns and saying crazy shit and living like it's, hundreds of years ago. And then you have the other half that's going, what the fuck is going on? Get me the fuck out of here, or we got to try and fix this or talk about this. Obviously the latter is where we fall. And that can be a bit maddening too, because sometimes you feel like you're just kind of screaming into the abyss.
Yeah.
But you probably can't afford not to have a gun either then, though. So, it's a bit of a catch-22.
It's tricky.
You need something to defend yourself as well. So
it's very tricky. Where we used to live in East Nashville, we had to move outside the city, but for almost a decade we were right there, just minutes from downtown, and almost every night there was gunshots and shootings and a lot of gang related stuff. It wasn't I guess gentrified the way it is now. Like a lot of cities, I'm sure, what was once a rougher part of town becomes, the hip coffee shops, and you're like, how did this happen?
Yeah,
but it did, and we left after the tornadoes. But yeah, it's an issue. So it's always interesting hearing from folks like yourself.
Seems a bit crazy to the outside world, to be honest.
Yeah, farmers have them over here. I say farmers guns, farmers have guns, farmers mums. That's about it.
Well, and see, that's how I grew up. I grew up down in Florida, which is kind of almost like an island state, here, which honestly is probably even crazier. It has a reputation amongst the states for being one of the craziest states. But that's how it was down there. It was all farmland, and somebody would have a rifle. There were coyotes and things like that. Bobcats, occasionally like a panther. So, occasionally they would have a firearm like that. But moving to the city, I feel like there's really no need for that kind of.
But in Florida, they don't pay tax, do they?
No, not state tax. No, and they do income tax though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do income tax. Yeah.
So what sort of tax don't they pay? Because I always hear on the radio, because I listen to quite a lot of podcasts.
I think they feel bad for them, because there's all the alligators, and alligators are always eating babies and dogs, and Scream. I just found out Scream, the movie, is based in my hometown. I had no fucking clue this whole time.
No, right, okay.
We were filming Scary Movie and recreating these scenes, not from that movie per se, but referencing it for sure. And then come to find out it was based on the Gainesville Ripper. So that's what I say. I think they feel sorry for them, that their children are being eaten by alligators. I shouldn't say that with a smile. That's not funny. It's a crazy place. If you come to the States, I say go to New York maybe, or LA or Nashville. Come to Nashville. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. I've been to San Francisco.
San Fran is great.
Yeah, it's very cosmopolitan, if you like.
It is. It is. We have some wild San Fran stories. There's a place called Tenderloin, and before we went there, friends and fans and stuff, they said, okay, have a great time in the city, but after the gig stuff, don't wander into Tenderloin. And say, okay, easy to remember, And sure enough, accidentally, we wandered right into Tenderloin. and in broad daylight, people are shooting up on the sidewalk. People are
really?
People are smoking crack in the middle of the street. And you're like, wow, is there a cop or anything? And you look and you're like, oh yeah, there was a cop, but he was 100 yards away dealing with something way worse. And you're like, holy shit, man! It was gnarly. It was one of the gnarliest. I thought it was gnarlier than LA, to be honest with you.
Seriously?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because LA's got a bit of a reputation.
Yeah. It can get pretty gnarly. But I didn't come on here to talk about all that.
No. I got another question to ask you, actually.
Hit me, sir.
You brought out a single called Geronimo?
Yes.
And you recorded it with a band called Just a Ride?
Absolutely. Love those guys.
Okay, how did that come about?
Well, it's a bit of a long story. Musically, I was actually inspired by Just a Ride. They had released their full-length record, and it was just killer front to back. And it reminded me of like Velvet Revolver, but like a lot of different bands from that era. I know they kind of get pigeonholed with that, so it was a little bit more broad than that. So musically, I was inspired by like other people are picking up on this grunge stuff again too, because in the States it wasn't hitting as hard as I think it was over there.
Okay.
So when I saw what they were doing and Salkura and some of those other bands, I was inspired. Lyrically, our guitar tech of my friend of 15 years, he committed or died by suicide, and that hit us pretty hard. Because he was always the life of the party. He was that kind of guy, not the kind of guy you would expect that type of thing from. So I was pretty moved by that. And a lot of our songs in the past, we've donated, whatever the profits were to charity, because, at this level, it's like nobody's getting rich. And it's nice to do something for something other than your band. I think a lot of bands that, they get so caught up in, play my song, do the, it's like, so that was the thing behind Geronimo was, the money went to AFPS. We got to get some kind of closure with the fans, like as much as you can.
Yeah.
As much as you can. Pay some homage to Josh. And connect with these bands that inspired us in the first place, I guess. So when they said yes, I was really, really excited about it. It wasn't like oh cool, just for promotion or anything like that. I was excited because, like I said, they really inspired. We were messing with that grungy stuff on Prelude, and then it was like they kind of took it to the next level, and it was like, oh man, I wanted to be part of it, So it was almost like a modern Temple of the Dog type.
Yeah.
Tribute.
We know Rod and Drew. We've had them on the podcast before.
Love those guys. Well, they're going to come over and play America.
Okay.
We just met via Zoom last week, and we're supposed to come over and do the tour with them. So.
Right. Okay. So you're going to do a gig swap.
That's right.
That's right.
So sooner or later, we're going to see you guys.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You can't get on with Boy George. Drew plays for Boy George as well?
Yes, man. He's got quite a prolific career.
Yeah. He's a really good guitar player.
He is, and a funny guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. When we had him on he just got over COVID, hadn't he, Dave?
Yeah, he had. Yeah.
Oh no, did he still have it? Because I put him in COVID jail, I think, on the video.
Oh no. How did it get him? Did he get a heavy bout or?
I don't think so. I don't think he was that bad, was he?
He was too bad. He didn't seem too bad, did he?
Okay.
No.
How did you guys fare? Did you get it pretty bad or?
I did, yeah.
Terry did, yeah. Nearly killed him.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
That was
better now.
Got it. I surprised. I fared pretty bad. I have asthma.
Okay.
I've had asthma for years, so it kicked my ass. We made it years without getting it. And then one of my wife's coworkers, she got it, gave it to us, and it knocked us out. I was out for 2-3 months, and then I got a concussion right at the end of it. So I was out for a long time.
Oh, did you get a concussion?
Yeah, it was my own fault, though. I knocked myself out.
Or did you swing for your misses and missed?
No, let me say that she could easily knock my ass out. She's from New York City, and I love that. I love that about her. No, no, it was dark, and there's a door that'll close on you in the house. You know how sometimes doors are off center from the house, and they'll just gravitate. And I had guys. It's kind of a long story. I had this lesion on my side that I didn't want the door to hit. The door was going to close into it. So in the dark at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, I jumped to make it through the closing door. Again, sparing a lot of the backstory here. But instead of making it through the door, I leapt right into the door frame.
Okay.
Which were pretty solid, like oak and that kind of thing, and just knocked my ass right out. And the rest is history.
Yeah, so you never really recovered.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a while. Still recovering.
You should have had that big that photograph I've seen of you on the internet with that big
the hair. See, that would have saved me. Yeah. That would have saved me.
Because that's what happened to me. I mean, I used to have, when I was a kid, I used to have a big Mohican.
Oh, yeah.
Haircut.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody decided to whack me around the back of the head with a pool cue.
Oh, shit, man.
And I never even felt it, to be honest. All I heard was this big crack.
My God.
Downstairs in the steer it was, Dave. I think, I can't remember if Gary was working or not. I don't. But this kid whacked me with his pool cue. It broke completely in half over my head.
Oh,
and I thought, because the noise was immense. And I was like, crack. And so I thought, what the fuck was that? And then one of my mates was stood on the other side of me, and he was like, what? And this kid was just standing there with half a pool cue in his eye going, what? And I was like,
I mean, was he a buddy or enemy or
the guy that hit me? I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah,
it just hit me, and then he got like escorted out.
Oh my God, what a story, man!
In a very kind way.
It's a very nice pub anyway, or it used to be. They've reopened it now. It's like I think they put a coffee shop down there or something, because it's been closed for years and years and years.
Yeah, I think it's like a bit like Weatherspoons.
Yeah,
that sort of vibe. Maybe a little bit posher. I'm not really sure, but
I think it's supposed to be quite posh. Yeah,
I've seen some photos.
Become brown.
Are you coffee drinkers? Because I know
a
lot outside the US are not. Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah,
tea with milk.
Yeah,
no,
that sounds good.
I have no milk.
Oh yeah, you don't have milk, do you? But most of Europe don't drink milk.
Yeah.
We grew up with tea as kids. Yeah. As an adult, I found coffee. So I drink them both, but I'm trying to do less caffeine. I have a lot of natural energy. So
I couldn't guess.
Yeah. I got heart palpitations already. So
just thinking about coffee.
Working on water.
Me too.
Cheers. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah.
So you've collabed with quite a few people. Who in the world would you love to collab with? Any of the big stars? Anybody?
Yeah. There's so many names that come to mind. I've been really into this guy Oliver Tree lately, because he seems to be doing kind of exactly what we're doing, where rock and pop and alternative and I guess a little bit electronic almost kind of meet. Hell, I've seen 9 Inch Nails is doing collaborations, so I'll put that one out. I'll put that one out now.
Oh, okay.
I feel like a lot of folks are doing collaborations now.
Yeah.
That kind of seems to be the thing.
Yeah, you've already got a lot of the girls going into rock as well, like Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga, and they all seem to be doing songs with some of the big rock bands, don't they?
Yeah, that seems to be the thing. I think Olivia Rodrigo seemed to kind of bring the guitar back, I think, for a lot of that demographic, I think. But I think also the difference now is like when I was coming up, there was a few female shredders, Orianthi was probably one of the best. But now there's so many kick-ass female players coming up. Hell, our bass player is an awesome female. Which is great because she can sing all the high harmonies that the guys are struggling with. So yeah, no complaints there. I've worked with a handful of female musicians. We actually did a duet that unfortunately had to get shelved with negotiations with the artist publisher, which was kind of a shame because the song was already finished and mixed and mastered. And that's just the nature of the business sometimes.
So have you actually got a band, or do you? Because most of the stuff I see is like, I mean, obviously you call yourself the Frst.
Yeah, so it started out as a band. It started out as kind of I didn't call it a super group, but that's kind of what they called it because we were all hired guns for different bands. Jeff was in Insane Clown Posse. Nathan was in Taking Back Sunday. Andrew Leahy was playing with Butch Walker. I was playing with John King and Kid Brunswick and stuff like that. And also I think later on I was doing a lot of writing on what they call Music Row here, which is, essentially where all the publishers are. And I was writing at a place called Demolition almost every day. And I think we all needed kind of an outlet, just to kind of get the mojo out or whatever. Because when you're a hired gun, you're not there for your opinions. You're not there for your musical tastes. You're not there for anything you might add. You're there just to play the part how it is. And, some artists maybe want, they'll give you the nod, meaning, take off on a solo or something like that. So we needed a creative outlet. And that's kind of where it started. And then when COVID happened, we were also hit by the tornadoes, so we couldn't. I mean, our house we lived in for a decade, where sort of the headquarters in East Nashville was. We were lucky, our neighbors' houses were flattened and stuff like that, but it was red taped. We couldn't live there anymore. It was off the foundation and falling apart and stuff like that. So we were homeless for about 6 months. Neither myself or my wife had, really relationships with our families, so it's not like we couldn't just go stay at our parents or anything like that. So we ended up finding this farm we could live in up in Kentucky, and the rest of the band was still in Nashville, and so then it just became me out of necessity.
Oh, right, okay.
But then it kind of surfaced that I had played everything on most of the songs up until kind of those guys had joined. So it was like the early songs up until what was it? Rules was me, playing everything, drums and vocals and all that stuff. And then from Rules to I guess Rules had everybody, and then there was a couple more singles, and then Duh had everybody, and so it was a little spotty. But like Tarantino and Ammo and stuff, that was me playing everything. So there was always kind of that. Is it a band? Is it a guy? A lot like Nine Inch Nails, Also because a lot of the other guys, again, they had day jobs. We all did at the time. I wanted to make this my full-time gig, and I definitely don't fault them for doing it. They still come back and play. So that's kind of that. I guess essentially I've become the Frst, not that I would ever call myself that. And then, live, obviously it's the entity with more or less usually most of the guys and girls.
All right. Okay.
So there's probably a longer explanation than you want.
No, I was just wondering because I see a lot of your stuff with you on your own, and then I wasn't really sure about the rest of the band, But have you known the rest of the band for a long time then?
Oh my God, long time. Yeah, I would say grow up, but about a decade. We all came up in Nashville together. Which when you're starting out in a town like that, and then, you kind of find your way, find your place, earn your stripes, whatever you want to call it. it's a unique type of bond that you share with those people of, I remember when we were scrounging the streets, and now, we're, you know, playing on these records and doing these tours and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's always great to see those guys.
Yeah, because you see like a lot of singer-songwriters, if you like, head towards Nashville, don't you?
Yeah, they do. A decade ago when we showed up here, it wasn't so much the case. It was still very much country and big country money, and which is okay because that's right. That was right at the time when every country band had to have a rock guitar player, so that was fine. But it's become something very different now. Okay. There's a different type of rock scene evolving here that didn't exist. So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, okay. And so is it I mean, you obviously still got the countryside going on.
Sure. But I think the rock was almost a reaction to that. What's a little odd is now the rock scene is starting to get to the point where bigger people are starting to show up. Like, Chris Daughtry and Lizzie Hale are showing up to Grunge Night at the Basement, or, shit like that. That's a little weird because that wasn't always the case, But I think it's great. I think it's great because it brings a lot of attention to people that wouldn't have it otherwise, So
yeah, we've spoken to a few people from Nashville actually. I mean, we've spoken to like the Mother Truckers and also Kate and Cock also, yeah.
Excellent.
So, and they all. I mean, I know the Mother Truckers have moved back from Nashville now. They've gone back to San Fran actually.
Okay.
They feel like it's being invaded by the no fun police.
It is, and that's why we got out of the city. We were thinking about making the transition to the West Coast right as it started burning down. So, we still get out there pretty often, but that's our drummer Jeff. He grew up out there, so we're out there a bit. But it's at the moment, Nashville is home.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So what have we got coming next musically then? I mean,
well, we're dropping Scary Movie, the music video.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Did I send you guys a preview of that yet, or
no?
It's okay. Well, I will. It's pretty epic. It features our first kill scenes. We've never had any kill scenes.
Okay.
So that's going to premiere on Friday, January 20th, and then about a month after that, we'll be dropping a new single, which I can't talk about too much yet. But you're the first to hear about it, though. So
it's not a secret, is it? I don't know. We don't get told any secrets on this show.
Well, you got the first one. We got another track in about a month.
Are you looking to pull together a new album? Because obviously the last album was in 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And again, a lot of that was just because, we were homeless for about 6 months. And then once we got into the new studio, it took at least a month or two to get everything housed back in here. And then really a month or two to get the sound back, really. So that was the big delay. And then also the duet with the female artist that took months out. So I know a lot of folks were like, God, why is it taking so long between albums?
We had COVID as well.
That's why, and COVID and a concussion. But the album is done. I'm super excited about it, and I can say that we'll be dropping a new single almost every month this year.
Okay.
Well, I know what it's called, Dave. I know what the album's going to be called.
Do you?
I do.
Concussion.
COVID and concussion. It's not going to be called alcohol and cigarettes. It's going to be COVID and concussion.
No. That's the live band name. It's the first and the COVID concussions. And that's trademarked with you guys. So you'll get full trademarked on air. You get full rights.
So going back to your grunge thing then. I mean, who were your main inspirations?
Well, obviously, I grew up on Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. Oh my God, I'll tell you, one of the best live shows we ever saw was the Melvins. I mean, it was polarizing. We saw them here in Nashville before a legendary club called Exit Inc. closed down. And what was different about the Melvins concert was nobody talked, nobody moved, nobody moshed, nobody took a piss, nobody went to the bar. Everybody was like hypnotized, just jaws on the floor, just watching them. I can definitely say the records or anything on YouTube just doesn't do it justice. There was something about it. I took my wife at the time; she had never heard them, and was just, I mean, she left like a super fan, with the T-shirt and everything. It was even to an outsider, it was something special.
Okay. Have you always been into like a grunge scene, or?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I grew up on that. I'm a 2000s kid, man. So growing up on, I mean, that was all over rock radio. I think that music had a longer legacy than a lot of other eras. I think it retained its punch and its relevancy because, them playing Nirvana 10 or 15 years after, it was still 100% current and competitive. I would say only has it been, I would say maybe 2020 onward has it become where that sound is now classic.
Yeah, but it seems to be making a bit of a revival. I mean,
oh, absolutely. And I think you'll hear like on the new record, I wanted to pay homage to that. We brought the 808s in, and some of those things of like, hey, let's update this sound and keep it going, That's my take on it,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially in the UK. I mean, like I said, you've got Just a Ride.
Yeah.
You've got a band called Muddy Brook. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Absolutely. Honeycomb, I think, I think they're over there. We love Coastal Fire Department from Guernsey.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played them on the radio last week, actually.
Oh, excellent. I was going to say, you should definitely check them out, have them on if you haven't yet. Well, thanks again for having me on as one of the first of the new year as well.
Yeah. You're actually our second, so.
The first and second, that's all right.
So, you got any wild tour stories you can tell us?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, there's too many. I'll tell you, I've told this one before, but it's, in my opinion, it's one of the. Well, okay, I've got two. I've got two for you. The first was on the Jägermeister tour with Portugal the Man, and there were these speakers, line arrays, I guess you would call them, the stacks. And and I was a little bit younger, and so I climbed the line array, the speaker stacks. I guess doing my best Eddie Vedder or Chris Cornell, what have you. Except that I had these platform Italian leather boots. Okay. And when I got to the top, I slipped, and obviously, that was pretty high up. That wasn't the main concern. After I slipped on the way down, my nuts hit the corner metal caster of the line array. Boom, right in the crotch, and then fall back. Luckily, the crowd caught me because they just thought like, oh, he just climbed the line array and now he's crowd surfing. But I legitimately
styled it up, did you?
Yes. Straight jackass style, just clipped right in the ball sack. And luckily, the crowd, they kept me surfing long enough to just groan it out. So by the time they threw me back on stage to start playing again, I could kind of fake it off. Like, I meant to do that, but I was still limping.
It's called falling with style.
That's right. And the other one was with Sean Kingston for the Rock and Roll Marathon in Tampa. This was also years ago, and in sound check, you're there in the morning, and it's the exactly what you'd expect, the massive type stage with the arrays and the lighting trusses and everything, but it's empty at that point. So we're sound checking, for later in the day and everything, and somehow my nearly new, I can't say brand new, but within 6 months, Mesa Boogie Stiletto Ace, a 212 amplifier, was plugged into the lighting trusses, have electrical boxes that dangle. And somebody thought that was the outlet And that's where the Mesa Boogie got plugged into, and it caught on fire. And when I mean on fire, I'm like, sound guys going guitar, and I'm thinking, that's weird. No sound. I'm like, why do I smell smoke? And I turn around, and there are flames just coming out and smoke, and it's like, holy shit, somebody come over the fire extinguisher, and somehow nobody ever took credit for or where or how or what the hell happened with it getting plugged into it. And of course it was just out of warranty. So
that's why nobody claimed
yeah. So I ended up having to DI the guitar for that show, which was talk about a guitarist nightmare. And somehow it turned out okay. I even got compliments, by people that, people in the crew that hadn't showed up yet and heard about them, but and you're like, you're fucking with me, right? No, it sounds more like the record that way. And you're like, well, the DI most of stuff on the record, so
yeah, I guess it's all right for the bass player to DI, but
but the guitarist.
What's your go-to guitar then? What are your favorite guitars to play?
That's hard to say. I guess online I'm a bit notorious for playing the hubcap guitar, which surprisingly sounds a lot better than most folks think. It really does sound, it's a heavy metal guitar. But it's difficult to keep in tune. So if we're playing a show that's longer than a couple songs, I'll use probably Fender Tele. The Pro Modern player has the humbucker in the back, so I'll use that, or PRS Custom 24. I've had that for over a decade probably. But so far the folks at Fender have, been a little more gracious to us. So
right, okay. Yeah. That's nice.
That's cool.
That's
good.
They're good. And they own Gretsch too. That's our bass player plays Gretsch. I use that on a lot of the record, that and a Music Man for the bass.
Nice guitars.
Yeah, they'll get the job done. But we've got some other stuff. Like I used the Schecter on a couple of the songs. One of those Diamond Series ones that have the two humbuckers, kind of that Avenged Sevenfold type thing. So for the heavier stuff, maybe that. There's a new song coming out that the pickup on the PRS was broken, but I liked the way it sounded, and it ended up making the record. Instead of a humbucker, the back humbucker was turned into, almost sounds like a AM radio type effect with the scoop EQ. And ended up playing it on one of the new songs, and it had this really cool, almost sounded like a Vox amp cranked all the way up, sort of that sort of harsh Beatles top end for like an AC30 kind of sound. So now I have to keep the guitar broken to keep this.
All by an AC30.
It's my most expensive guitar, and it has to stay broken forever now.
So for you to be sponsored then, I mean, you must, it sounds like you play with some pretty big artists, to be honest.
Yeah, but to be honest, without naming any names, I didn't find that experience to be particularly gratifying. If anything, I found that experience to be a bit degrading at times. So, and that's kind of what the first was born out of, was let's just put the murky musical past behind us and start a project where pretty much anything's the limit. If you look at any Frst song, every song is different. There'll be no two songs that sound alike genre-wise or lyrically or thematically. And on the new record, I'll give you guys another exclusive. On the new record, it is a concept record, so there's actually the storyline of a character that each song is different because shit's happening to the character.
Oh, that's cool.
Shit's getting crazy for the character.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like that. I like things with a story, I think.
Cool. Cheers. I think you guys will like it.
Yeah. It'd be cool, man.
Do you ever get over those things? I don't know. Do you think you ever got over your COVID? Were you ever the same after?
Definitely not.
Not at the moment. No. It's been like, how long's it now been now? Almost 2 years, Dave?
Yeah, gotta be on there.
Yeah, it really affected me, actually.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I believe it.
I couldn't barely walk after 3 months. I was like,
oh my God.
But
it's and that was what was so crazy about that was how differently it hit everybody.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, well, when you've got genetically modified diseases by the air by the
shit's
government.
bound to go fucking wild, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah, the lasting effects are different for everybody in there. I mean, my chest is still a bit tight now, and I had it. When did I have it?
Just before Christmas?
Yeah, I went and watched Guns N' Roses, didn't I? And I caught it.
Oh,
when
no.
I went to London. So I came back from London. I had it within a couple of days of coming back, and then the missus caught it off me about a week later. So I think it might have been September, October we went down there.
Now, was that your first or second time?
First time.
First time. Okay. Same. Yeah, I've only had it the once, I think.
Yeah. But I was probably bedridden for maybe 3 days.
Okay.
And then I had a pounding headache the one day, and then I started working from home then. So I wasn't.
Oh wow. Okay.
I wasn't really, really bad with it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like a not Terry for 6.
Yeah.
Really
right.
Well, you should have gone to the hospital, really, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Should have gone to the hospital. Yeah.
I was too.
He come back out. He was
that was it.
Back out, so
I wouldn't have.
Don't go on the ventilators. That's what they found out. No.
Yeah. That's why I wouldn't go in.
Yeah. Being asthmatic, there was one day, especially here where it gets real hot, and our air conditioner went out at that time too. So it was so hot, and my wife had the good idea to cover my chest in ice bags, and that kind of brought the swelling down. So if you find yourself, I've been telling folks that if you find yourself in that type of situation, it saved my life. So
yeah.
Passing it along.
Yeah. Well, I had to keep moving. I did so.
Did you? Is that what kept you?
Yeah, because I knew if they put me in a bed, I was a goner.
Got it.
Got it. My oxygen saturation levels were working in reverse.
Oh wow!
So when I was resting, my oxygen saturation levels were going down.
Wow!
And because I was checking it all the time.
Holy shit!
I ended up in emergency in the hospital.
Wow!
And they were like, "You got to stay in," and I was like, I know if I don't keep moving, I'm a goner.
Damn, yeah.
So I just have to keep moving.
Yeah.
But now you've got all this wild stuff coming out about the vaccines as well.
Well, I got my 4th one tomorrow.
Don't do it, Dave.
Okay. We got ours a while ago. There's, who knows what to trust anymore? My goodness, who knows who to trust?
Listen to Joe Rogan.
Or don't.
I've had 3. I've had 3, and I've had COVID once, but I got another booster because I'm 50.
Okay. Yeah.
50 and above, we get another booster before the rest of the population. So either they're going to try and kill us off.
Yeah, that's what
because they killed all the old ones off in the rest homes. Bless them.
Oh man, I know.
I don't know. We'll just see, but.
I know. It's wild stuff, isn't it? Who knows what to think anymore?
Yeah, well, you got all these different stories coming out. I mean, I heard a story the other day was if you've had 3 of the mRNA vaccinations, that it actually works against you if you catch COVID again.
I could believe it, man. I could see that.
Because it's genetically, the way it's genetically, I can't say modified. I don't know what the right word is really, but the way it's made genetically, it contradicts everything.
Gotcha.
So
we're not doctors. Everybody watching this, we're not doctors.
No. I'm not giving medical advice.
What's the MN? Because I had 2 AstraZenecas.
Yeah.
Which were like the Oxford, which they said nobody should have because they were creating loads of blood clots and everything in the UK.
Yeah.
A higher percentage of blood clots. And then for my 3rd one, then I had a Pfizer, which is kind of like I think it was a hodgepodge of different ones.
Yeah, well, the Pfizer and the Moderna were mRNA.
Okay.
And the other 2 were DNA.
Okay.
So the 2 change your DNA, and the other 2 fuck your DNA up, apparently.
Oh.
And we live to tell the tale, boys.
Yeah, I mean, I have only had 1 vaccination, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean,
we all got it now. That's what we keep saying. It's like, well, we all got it now, so.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, I really believe in like herd immunity, because the more you keep vaccinating people with a vaccination that doesn't actually work, the more times it's going to mutate.
Yeah. Yeah, things are crazy. I think around here they were saying the flu or something, some kind of virus had overtaken it in terms of circulation. So you're like, I don't.
Well, the flu does every year, doesn't it? The flu kills plenty
It
of old
is.
people.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Yeah, and it mutates every year as well, doesn't it? That's why they've got to have a new jab. But
I got it 2 years on the road and still played. That sucks having a gig with the flu.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, a lot of people think they have the flu, but they don't really have the flu.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, see, you get the Tamiflu within the first, 24 hours. It's not so bad.
Okay.
So, yeah. No, I'm not one of those people. That drives me crazy. Like people that call a headache a migraine or a cold a flu. No, 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 no. There's big difference. No.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But when you got a contract, it don't matter if you got the flu or not.
Yeah, you got to get out there, man. Got to get out and play.
You got to get there. You got to be there. So
you're looking forward to going out with your own band?
I'm excited. We got April 7th coming up, Nashville. That's our first hometown show in Nashville in years and years and years and years. We kind of tested the water fall. We got back out there. And that was a blast. That was a ton of fun. We went down to Florida and
kick some alligators.
Smash some guitars on them. Have a few on stage,
Make some shoes out of them.
That's right. Yeah, excellent shoes. It was a blast. And honestly, we came back from that trip and went, oh my God, we got to book some dates. So we've got Nashville in April, and that's all I can say now. But there's going to be a bunch more days. We're going to cover most. I'm already tripping myself up. We're going to cover most of the U.S. probably this summer, and then I've given you fair warning. We're coming at you 24.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
cool. Be ready.
Yeah, that'd be good with just.
We'll get you back on before then.
Yeah, exactly. Jump on, see some of each other's songs and things like that.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Oh, actually,
absolutely.
That's what I was going to ask you. Was Geronimo on Just a Ride's album as well?
No, I don't think it was. That was actually our bad. We didn't realize some of the paperwork. It would have been quite simple.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah.
After that's become a big thing in our camp, of that would have been quite easy to do. So
yeah, I was thinking because I remember when Just a Ride brought the album out, because the album's called Just a Ride, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was trying to think of the track listing earlier, and I thought Geronimo was on there, but
we had just missed the timing deadline, and we didn't realize they had to be a primary artist, not a featured artist.
Okay.
Which I didn't realize was even a thing, because there's, how they're listed. It says like the first, comma, just a ride, comma. So that's still how it looks when they're a primary artist versus a feature artist. So
yeah,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
So yeah,
it's easy enough to turn the things around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It could be Just a Ride first, and
yeah, right, exactly. So yeah, it's a funny world we're living in, but honestly, I love all this collaboration environment we're in. It's so much easier now to just, I mean, that's how the Kid Brunswick, a lot of that stuff was like, on his song Bipolar Rhapsody, which is, I think still one of his top 5 songs on Spotify. But, I recorded that 12-string guitar part, at that farm in Kentucky I was telling you about when we were homeless, and, not even sure if it was going to wind up on the record, because that was a Universal Island record and Jacob Manson was producing it. And then the record came out and there it was. So I love that, because you could be anywhere now in collab. He was in London, and the same when he jumped on our track, he was in London. By that point we were back in Nashville. But it's just a ton of fun. So
the wonders of technology.
I know. I tell you, I miss the days when everybody wasn't, like doing this. Yeah. But it's also cool to be able to have these kinds of conversations.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, yeah, it's a sort of yin yang in it.
It is.
It
is.
It's like having a love-hate relationship with social media. With your wife, yeah.
With anyone for that matter.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm just as guilty. I mean, I'm always like cursing social media, but then on the radio shows, I'm asking everyone to go on social media and follow our stuff. So it's like a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
It can be a
You
curse.
need it, unfortunately.
Gentlemen, I feel like I've taken up too much of your time.
Yeah, man, we're gonna let you go.
Thank you.
Been great chatting to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. When does this air?
I'll let you know. Probably in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, it might be this week, actually. It depends if I can get my bum into gear.
Future selves or selves from the past, we love you. Thank you for having us.
I'll let you know. It might be this Sunday.
That sounds great.
When's your video coming out? Friday?
Music video coming out Friday.
Okay, and I'll tag it on the end of this.
That sounds awesome.
Peace.
Thank you, brother. Love you guys. The first out.
Yes.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having us.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.